السلام عليكم، كيف الحال؟ اسمي أركان الطري. أهلا وسهلا. السلام عليكم everybody. كيف الحال؟ اسمي أركان الطري. أهلا وسهلا. Welcome to Arabic Sahl, Easy Arabic podcast. Today is the first lesson and I'm very excited. We're going to start with the very beginning. Today's lesson is going to be about self-introduction. We're going to learn how to introduce yourself with 3 simple sentences. I'm going to give the Shami version, the Shami dialect, and the fuSHa, MSA. So as you heard from my introduction, when I introduced myself at the beginning, I start with Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. The rough translation for this phrase is peace be upon you, and it's a very standard greeting, very common in the Arab countries, very formal as well. So we start with Assalamu alaikum. Ismi Arkan. Ismi. My name is Arkan. Tsharrafna. Tsharrafna is nice to meet you. You can substitute Ismi Arkan with Ana Arkan, which means I'm. Like we say in English, I'm Arkan, or my name is Arkan. So the self-introduction will start with Assalamu alaikum, Ismi Arkan, or Ana Arkan, and the last one is Tsharrafna. Now this is the Shami dialect. The Shami dialect is basically Syrian Arabic, Lebanese, Jordanian, and Palestinian. I speak Palestinian Shami dialect, so I'll be focusing more on that rather than the Damascus Shami dialect. As for the fuSHa, I was hesitant, to be honest, about teaching fuSHa when it comes to introducing yourself or learning some common phrases or useful phrases, because when you're communicating with Arabs, even though they would understand fuSHa, they wouldn't communicate back to you in fuSHa, and to our ears it sounds a bit weird to be talking in fuSHa. I'm going to give a lesson about the difference between the dialect and the fuSHa and which one you should focus on if you have a preference. But for now I'm going to introduce both the dialect and the fuSHa, and you can pick which one you want to focus on more. So for the fuSHa, again, there are 3 sentences like before. The first 2 are the exact same. Assalamu alaikum, you start with the greeting, and then Ismi Arkan. In fuSHa, we tend to say more Ismi than Ana. If I would introduce myself in fuSHa, I would use Ismi Arkan, whilst in the dialect, I would say Ismi Arkan or Ana Arkan. My name is, or I'm. As for the third and the last sentence, which is nice to meet you, in the Shami dialect we say Tsharrafna, and this is the shortened version of the fuSHa. تشرفت بمعرفتك. Now here's the thing, with the phrase تشرفنا in the Shami dialect, you can just say it to anybody, to a male, a female, or a group of people. However, when it comes to MSA, you have to be specific. So you say تشرفت بمعرفتك if you're talking to a male, تشرفت بمعرفتك if you're talking to a female, or تشرفت بمعرفتكم if you're talking to a group of people. So تشرفت بمعرفتك, تشرفت بمعرفتك, تشرفت بمعرفتكم. The literal translation for this phrase is I'm honored to meet you. There's another one. This phrase has the meaning of it's a pleasure to meet you, or I'm pleased to meet you. And this one is سررت بلقائك. سررت بلقائك. If you're talking to a male, if you're talking to a female, سررت بلقائك. سررت بلقائك. And to a group of people, you'd say سررت بلقائكم. سررت بلقائكم. Alright, let's review everything all at once. So we're going to start with self-introduction in the Shami dialect. Assalamu alaikum, ismi Arkan, تشرفنا. Or the other version, Assalamu alaikum, ana Arkan, تشرفنا. As for the fuSHa, the MSA, we're going to do also the two versions. Assalamu alaikum, ismi Arkan, تشرفت بمعرفتك. السلام عليكم اسمي أركان سررت بلقائك. Alright, so here you have it. Now you can introduce yourself comfortably and confidently when you meet other Arab people. Now keep in mind that Arab people know that you are learning the language and they would love to help you out. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Making mistakes is part of the process. And you wouldn't learn if you don't make mistakes. How about you go out, find somebody, and introduce yourself in Arabic? You can choose either Shami or fuSHa. Cultural point of the day. Since we learned just now how to introduce yourself, let's talk about what people do when they introduce themselves. Arabs tend to shake hands whenever they meet people for the first time or if they're meeting people that they already know. Now, when they meet somebody they already know, they might exchange kisses on the cheek. Now, pay attention. You can't mix genders. Men can shake hands with men. Men don't shake hands with women, but women can shake hands with women. As for the kiss on the cheek, the extra, more intimate greeting is among people that know each other, so like friends and family, and not everybody would do that. I would suggest do not initiate it. See how the other person is greeting you and go along. Now it's very important that in some Arab countries, as a male, you do not initiate the handshake. If you see that the woman is extending her arm for a handshake, then go for it. But you'd rather not. As a woman, don't expect Arab men to try to shake your hand. Again, we don't mix genders unless you are close with that person. And usually it's a family, not even friends. So please be careful, but still have fun. Meet Arabs, introduce yourself, shake hands, see if they shake hands first. Keep in mind that in the Arabian culture and the Arabic language, there is differentiation. Women and men, females, males, feminine, masculine. And we're going to talk about that more in the next lessons. يعطيكم العافية. See you in the next lesson. Assalamu alaikum.